So now let's go back and let's create a campaign. So to create a campaign, I'm just going to click on create campaign, and it is asking me if I want to send in a email campaign or SMS. I'm just going to click on email. So now I want to create an email campaign, and it's going to bring out this editor page where you can name your campaign. So let's name this campaign welcome email. So I can decide to add to a folder if I want to. Remember, I created a folder called Welcome Series. Then I can add to this folder. And when I click on that folder and click on add, this email will be added to this folder. Then I click on create campaign. So when I click on create campaign, it is going to take me to this page where I can manage the sender, the recipient, and all of this stuff. So now I can decide that I want to change the sender and I do not want to use this particular sender. I can pick another sender if I want. And remember also that you can add in a new sender if you want. So when you click on this, you can decide to change the sender, and you can also decide to edit your name. And instead of using your name, you can decide to use your company name. You can decide to use whatever name you want to use. After changing that, you can click on save, and you can also add in recipients, and this would help if you want to send to a specific list and you do not want to send to all of your contact list. You can decide to pick which list you want this campaign to be going out to. So for instance, you can pick whatever list you want, and I have this hot leads, and I can add that in. You can even add multiple lists if you want. So when you go back in here and you click on marketing automation, you can see other lists that you have, and it's going to show you the total number of contact that you have in here. And you can decide that you do not want to send to unengaged contact. And remember that we explained what unengaged contact is in the beginning when we're explaining the contact module. You can also decide what unengaged contact is. So maybe people that have not responded to your email in the past year, in the past 1 year, or people who have not opened your email in the past 1 year, you do not want to send to those people. You can decide not to send to unengaged contacts, and you can decide that you do not want to send to a specific list or a specific individual. So if you have someone on your list or you have some people on your list that you do not want to send to, you can decide to pick those lists and do not send to them. You can also decide not to send to a particular segment. That's if you have a segment already. You can also decide to send not to send to a particular contact. So when you click on add contacts, it is going to ask you to look for those contacts. So you can type in whatever it is you want to type in and search for that contact, and you can add them into that do not send list. So when you add them to this list, it is saying that you do not want to send to that particular contact. So after you have done all of this, you want to click on save. And when you click on save, you have already saved your recipient. So we are sending to a total of 21 recipients. And you can also add an email subject if you want. So I'm just going to add a simple email subject. Okay, so you can add in the email subject, you can add in an emoji, you can add in, yeah, whatever emoji you feel it's maybe a smiling emoji or whatever it is. You can also add in a variable, and this variable is going to help because you can add in their first name, you can add in their last name. It is going to make your email more personalized. So you can pick what attributes you want to add. So let's say you want to add in their first name, you can add in their first name and just make sure you leave a space. So after doing this, you can also add a preview text, and remember that your preview text is going to show under your subject line. So you can type in your preview text, and you can also add in an emoji, or you can add in a variable, maybe their first name or their last name or whatever it is you want to add. Then when you add all of this, you can click on save, and now your subject has been saved. So for instance, you can start designing, and in the start designing, that is the body of your email. So you can decide to use any of your saved templates, and you can decide to use the campaign emails. So if you have sent out campaign before on Brevo, you can decide to reuse the design of those campaigns and send that, just make some edits and send out those emails. You can also use the preview templates from what's it called? You can also use the preview templates from Brevo, And as you can see, they have simple templates which you can pick from, and you can also use your ready to use templates. So for instance, the templates that they've already pre-built by Brevo and designed, you can use any of these templates and you can start designing from that. Or you can actually just design from scratch. And if you are designing from scratch, you can pick if you want to use a drag editor or the simple editor or whichever one you want to use. So I'm not starting from scratch because I already created the template. I am just going to go back to my saved template and I'm going to pick on my welcome email. So I am going to click on use template. So before you click on use template, you can actually preview the email template and just see how it looks like. So you can also do that for the prebuilt template to see how it looks like before you use the template. So when you see that it's okay and it's good to go, you can click on use template. When you click on use template, it is going to go into the editor where you can make some changes if you want. So remember, the same way you make changes to the template is the same way you make changes to the campaign also. So you make whatever changes you want to add. Is it maybe to add titles or text or images or whatever it is you want to add? And after adding all of those and making sure that you are good to go, you can just click on save and quit. Okay, so after saving and quitting it, you can see that it's returned you back to this page, and you have some additional settings you can also set up if you want. So you can personalize your send to fields, and that means you can decide to send, rather than sending it to their email address, you can send it to the recipient name. So you can just add in their name instead of their email. And also you can use a different reply to address, and that means if you're sending out this email, you can decide to use a different entire email apart from the one that you're using as the sender email, so that when people reply to that email, it is the replies are going to this particular email you have selected in here. You can also activate your Google Analytics if you have that, and you can also ignore the custom list settings if you want. I do not want to do that. So you can embed images in your email. You can add an attachment. So if you want to add an attachment, just select the file you want to add. And you can also add in a tag if you want. Just write in the text you want to add in and you can add in that tag. And you can set an expiration date. And this means that if this email goes out, then you can set when this email is going to expire. So that means that's saying that if you send out this email and after the expiration date, it is going to be deleted from the recipient's inbox. So you can decide to set that or you can decide to remove that. But I feel it's up to you, whatever one you want to use. So you can decide to use a custom subscribe page, and you can create a custom unsubscribe page yourself, and you can add the default one if you want, and you can use a update profile form, and this is very important if you want people to be able to update their profile. So let's say you have some contact that have incomplete file, maybe they do not have their first name or they do not have their last name or their email is not correct, they can be able to update this profile form from their email, so that if they update whatever their first name is or whatever their last name is or whatever the country they are from, those updates can happen in Brevo. So after you've made all of those changes, you want to click on save. And when you click on save, it is going to, you are going to save it actually. And you can decide to preview and test again if you want. And you can decide to schedule this to go out. So when you click on schedule, you can decide to send this campaign out immediately, and that is for the send now. And you can decide to send for later. That means you're going to determine the time and the date this email is going to go out. So that means you can even create email campaigns and in advance for like 1 week and send them out. Like you do not need to lift a finger, just do all the work all at once and just send out, just schedule the emails to go out at the specific time. So when you click on the particular date you want this email to go out, you can also change the date and the date, and the time that this email is going to go out, it will be in your own time zone. So I'm from Africa, Lagos, and as you can see, the time zone has been updated in here. So whatever time zone you are using, whether it is EST or PST or whatever it is that is going to be this standard time. So take note of that. So for the send at best time, this is going to help you send out the emails at your contact best time. So it's going to look at each of your contacts and it's going to automatically send out the um the emails at the particular best time for the contact. So you have no control over this. So you have to be very careful if you want to use this or not. So if you pick a particular date, let's say if you pick this date and it's saying that it may take until tomorrow for this email to be delivered. And if you pick the 13th, you have no control over the time this email will be sent out to each of the contacts. That is the meaning of the best time. So you want to make sure that you are doing the right thing by picking that. When you pick whatever option you want to pick, just click on send now if you want to send now. And you can click on schedule if you want to schedule later. And you can also click on send at best time if you want to send at best time. And when you click on this, it is going to perform the action immediately. So that is how to create campaigns in Brevo. So now let's look at the statistics and let's see how the statistics work. So the statistics is just to check for the open rates, for your click rates, and your unsubscribe. So you can check from a particular date to another particular date. So let's say you want to check for the whole of the year. So you go to January and you go to January 1 to August 8, which is today. Sorry, August 12th. Yeah, August 12th. So you want to check for everyone, every open rate, and for every click rate, and for every unsubscribe rate. So this is a new account. We do not have anything because we have not sent out any campaign. But when you start sending out campaign, you can be able to see the unsubscribe rate for each of them. And it's going to actually help you see what is going on, and you can actually see what is and you can also see what is going on in your account. So you can also see for your email campaigns. We do not have any email campaigns in here. We have not sent out any, so it is not showing out any statistics. So we do not have any SMS campaign also, so it is showing no stats. So when you start sending out campaigns, you can be able to see the recipients, you can be able to see the opened, the clicked, the unsubscribed, and you can also see those people that are making complaints, and you can also see the bounces and the sent dates and the action. So after all of this is done, you want to make sure to show to check your statistics because it is very, very important so you can know what you are doing.